So, woke up this morning, a little chilly out here where I live. A little cold, not gonna lie. Usually, the weather's in the 80s, right? Thought to myself this morning as I got up, walked my dog, it's a little cold out there. And I thought to myself, wow, I remember being in New York one morning and I looked at my phone. It still had the weather. I was a little out of sorts. It still had the weather from Florida, where I live. It said it was 68 degrees. So I said, to myself, okay, it's not that bad. Went out for my run. As I go on for my run, I'm telling to myself, like, wow, it's a little cold out here. A little cold out here. It's a lot colder than I thought it was gonna be. Keep running, keep running. I get about 8 miles down, and I'm like, it's really, really cold. I had no gloves on. I had a long sleeve shirt on, my hat, but it was really cold. So I checked my weather app one more time, and it comes to say, that's in Florida. I was like, wow. Then I went to New York, it was negative 14 degrees. Now to think about that, it's crazy to think about that. That if I would have saw that in the morning when I first woke up, I probably would have said, nah, I'm not going for my run this morning. But I was able to push through it because of the fact of the matter is, I didn't know what the weather was. I didn't know that it was negative 14 degrees. But it's crazy that our minds will block us. Our minds will stop us before we even know it. Because at the end of the day, if I would have known that, it would have put a different aspect on this run. It would have put a different aspect on the going for the run. I would have had an excuse to go for a run. But I didn't have an excuse because I didn't know what the weather was. So the reason I'm telling this story is crazy that if we just stop letting our minds take over our bodies, we can become great. We are allowed to get better every day, but our minds will stop us because it doesn't want us to suffer. It wants us to be comfortable. We have to put ourselves in uncomfortable positions. And that morning, I realized to myself after that run, like, I'm capable of doing so much more if I just don't stop myself. Because if I would have known it was negative 14 degrees that morning, I would have probably not gone for my run. I was able to do 10 miles. I was able to push through it because I didn't know what the weather was. I didn't have an aspect of what the weather was gonna be like, how freezing cold it was gonna be. So understand that about yourselves, that if we allow ourselves not to get in our own way, we can become so much more. Our minds are amazing. Allow it to show you how amazing you are. Don't stop yourself. Don't allow yourself to be stopped by yourself. Too many of us worry about what other people think about us instead of worrying about what we think about ourselves. Comfortability in the mind is scary. It's scary because it will stop you. Put yourself in uncomfortable positions and allow yourself to grow. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.